and welcome to Online Real Estate School Incorporated. How's everyone doing today? Just double checking everything, making sure all my live streaming is working. Bear with me just 1 second. So I just make sure that everything is working here. Let's do this. Make sure that the live streaming is working for all my students and potential students. And here we are right now. Let's see if they're working. Potential students. Volume. Okay, very good. And here we are. Very good. Just double checking, ladies and gentlemen, make sure everything is working properly. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Warren Nelson, and this is Online Real Estate School. Some of you are here now doing some research as to if this school is going to be for you, if this platform is going to be for you. So we use what's called a Zoom platform, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure by now everybody's heard of Zoom, and it is a virtual class. So just like the class that you're looking at right now, you'll get to see me, talk to me, ask me questions, just as if you were sitting in the classroom, with the minor exception of the person sneezing and coughing next to you, disrupting your studies. So you won't have to worry about that through this live streaming class that we do. Our classes are Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays every week. Our students look forward to our class, and it becomes a community. Once you pay for the class here at Online Real Estate School, you never have to pay for it again. You may come back to the class over and over and over again, free of charge. And we do have a lot of students. That's why I call it a community class, because a lot of students do come back after they pass the exam, when they don't pass the exam. And I say to my students, if for any reason you don't pass the state exam, send me your transcripts. Let me see where you're weak at. We'll strengthen you up, and then we'll make sure that you're good next time. So my job is to make sure that I comply with the state regulation of teaching my students real estate practice and real estate fundamentals. These are two qualifying courses that you must take in order to take the state exam. And it's not a 1 hour class, ladies and gentlemen. I wish it was, but it's not. It's a 75-hour state required class. And because it's 75 hours of practice and fundamentals, and because my school has a great reputation for teaching you how to run a real estate business and invest in property, we add this extra curriculum to our courses to give you the best that money can buy as far as education goes. So when you come to our class, it's Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, 4 hours a day, which is really 3.5 hours because we take a half-hour break. So 9 to 1, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Those 3.5 hours go quick, quick, quick. The month goes fast. Or 6 p.m. to 10 p.m., Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. And so this class, I designed this free live streaming class that you are seeing right now as another platform for you to do more research. A lot of students are calling around different schools, getting voicemail, getting answer machine, maybe getting a live person on the phone, and trying to get some answers to their questions, but not really getting the confidence or the feel that they want. And so they have to make a guess if this is going to be the right school for them. And they sign up, and then they find out if it's the right school for them or not. So I try to make the process of your research a little bit more enlightening by offering this free class every Monday. And so this gives you a chance to interview me, see my teaching style, and see the things that you're going to be learning in the real estate class. When we talk about these two subjects the state requires, real estate practice and real estate fundamentals, then what we are referring to is the law, which is real estate fundamentals, and the business, which is real estate practice. Real estate's going to change your life, ladies and gentlemen. Those who venture into real estate never really have any regrets. Sometimes the business wasn't for them, but it's not that the real estate wasn't for them, it was the business. Not everybody wants to represent somebody else in the real estate arena. even though it's excellent income, probably the best income you'll ever make. Commissions are usually your highest paid jobs out there. And trust me, ladies and gentlemen, with the way that the economy is going, the way that inflation is going, and the way that employment is going, there is a reason that there are so many jobs available. Several reasons. Logical reason is because we're coming out of a pandemic and nobody was working. Everybody was doing live streaming. Nobody really wants to go back to work now that we've had a taste of not working. And a lot of people don't want to go back to a physical job. They would like to do something virtual. And so real estate really works out great because you never have to leave the house in order to do real estate, especially if you're working with real estate investors. They'll go out, they'll look at the properties, they'll make the offer, they'll call you, you'll make the offer to the other agent, write up the contract, and look, you never even left the house and you're doing a deal. So this happens quite often, and I teach my students how to use the Zoom in their real estate business. I also own a brokerage, ISS Realty. It's Realty. A partner in me, Sam and me, we own this business. And we decided I was getting ready to retire, ladies and gentlemen. And so I'm at an age now where I've done my duty, I've done my dues, and I was getting ready to retire. But because I've been running this school, I've been finding out that a lot of my students, after they leave my class, are not happy with the environment that they find themselves in when they start interviewing brokers and what will be involved in getting into real estate. So I decided, me and my partner, to start the real estate brokerage, is Realty, for basically our new students. So after they pass the state exam, we'll take the new students, which most brokers don't want. Most brokers don't like new agents. It's a lot of work involved, a lot of investment that is put into a brand new agent. And a lot of brokers would prefer not to put in this effort and work because sometimes it's futile. Sometimes it's for nothing. After all this, the individual decides to go somewhere else. And so that is the arena. And so knowing this, me and my partner put together a brokerage to take the students to the next level. They're always asking about job placement and what will be next. So we put together a whole package. We have online real estate school, which is a state mandated class that you have to take in order to get your real estate license. No way around it. And there's no way that you would pass this state exam, ladies and gentlemen, without taking this class. Lawyers have their language, doctors have their language, and real estate has its language. And you're going to need to learn certain Latin words, a French word, and you're going to have to learn how to run a real estate business. And so that's what the class that is designed by the state is designed to do. It's supposed to teach you what you can and cannot do in the real estate arena when you are investing in property, when you are representing others in real estate, and when you are charging compensation. You must have a real estate license. So there's many things many opportunities that will come your way when you have that real estate license. I like to say that real estate license is your golden ticket. Once you have a real estate license, you'll never be broke. You'll never be unemployed again. So the real estate license is your golden ticket, ladies and gentlemen. And I want to share my screen with everybody here. And let's do this. And let's do this right here. And let's open this up. Ladies and gentlemen, boom, let's open this up here. This is what it all comes down to, the golden ticket. And you've heard this opportunity before. Share the screen. This is what you're looking for, ladies and gentlemen. Once you get that real estate license, you'll never be broke. You'll never be unemployed again. Work will come to you. You'll be getting all kinds of offers once you have that real estate license. That real estate license is a golden ticket or a passport, if you would, to a different lifestyle. And as I said, you're journeying into real estate where no one has ever regretted it. Every millionaire, billionaire, and trillionaire has real estate in their portfolio. And so they didn't make it with the stock market, as you can see right now. Great time to buy. Same thing with real estate, ladies and gentlemen. Many of you might be wondering, is now a good time to buy real estate? The answer is 100% absolutely yes. Now's a better time than it was earlier this year when we had a frenzy. Now, uh, let's see. Let's do this. This happens. Joan, I'm doing my free class right now. Do you have the, I'm sorry, go ahead. It starts tomorrow. I'll send you the link. Enjoy. You're welcome. Bye-bye. See, ladies and gentlemen, this is the way it works. The real estate business, it never stops. And it really doesn't. The phone constantly rings. And since I'm running several companies, I have several phones to figure out which companies I'm answering. But those are constant students constantly. And Joan was one of my previous students who wants to come back to the class. This is what I say. It's like a community, ladies and gentlemen. Once you come to the class and once you pay for it, you never have to pay for it again. You may come back to the class over and over and over again to refresh and straighten up. So my school is one of the only schools that offer this opportunity. Just like testing, ladies and gentlemen. If for any reason you don't pass the exam with my class, we'll do a makeup exam. And we'll do another makeup exam free of charge. So I like to take the pressure off of my students. I let them know that failure is never getting a second chance. I never said, I didn't get the chance to say, I love you before you left this earth. That, ladies and gentlemen, is failure. Failure means never, ever getting a second chance. But in real estate, there is no failure. You get second, third, fourth chances over and over and over again. So when I tell my students about testing, I tell them, don't worry about it. You're going to pass the exam. And what I usually have to do is deal with the psychology of my students and my clients. And I teach psychology in the classroom. And so one of the first things I have to do is get you into the right mindset as a student. A lot of students will say, I'm not good at math. Nah, I'm not good at testing. Well, there is the disadvantage right there. You're already in the wrong mindset, and that mindset will hold you back. We also talk about comfort zone in my class, comfort zone. I'm comfortable sitting on the couch. I'm comfortable watching HGTV, but I'm not comfortable doing the things that HGTV tells me to do by going knocking on doors and making cold calls. I'm not comfortable doing that. If I can't take you outside of your comfort zone, then you will never, ever experience anything outside that comfort zone. So what I'm trying to say is if you're comfortable sitting on the couch, then that's where you're going to stay. You'll be there all your days. But if I can get you to do something that you're not comfortable with, like prospecting for your business, then the rewards are immense. Only when I get you outside of your comfort zone, when I have you do something that you were not comfortable with. That's the life, ladies and gentlemen. Risk earns rewards. And if you're not willing to take some risk, if you're not willing to go outside that comfort zone, then it will always hold you back. You will be your own worst enemy because you have that negative thought process. I don't do well at this. I'm not comfortable at that. And I'm certainly not good at this. Those will hold you back. Here's what you do have, because this is why you're in this class right now. You have desire. Desire is great, and it is the beginning course. But the success, the ingredient that you need for success is ambition. If you lack the ambition, then all the desire in the world is not going to do you any good when you lack the ambition to pursue your passion, your desires. And once you have ambition, then you set goals. And it gets easy. Life gets very easy that you accomplish one goal after another goal after another goal. So as an entrepreneur, and because you inquired about real estate, because you're looking at this free class right now, then you have that entrepreneur blood running through your veins. You are an overachiever. You're good at helping other people with their problems. You're just not so good helping yourself with your own problems. And we seem to be procrastinators as entrepreneurs as well. We kind of wait to the last minute to get things done, which is why you put off this class over and over and over again in time, because you were looking for the right moment, the perfect opportunity, the right time. It's never going to be perfect, ladies and gentlemen. So what you have to understand is you need to put that ambition into overdrive. You have the desire, you have the passion, you know it. You know you want to be in real estate, but there's something that always holds you back. And now, if I can encourage you to make the investment in yourself, now is the time to be in real estate. As I was saying earlier, is now a good time to buy real estate? The answer is 100% yes. It is even better now because everybody else is starting to hear the doom and the gloom news, ladies and gentlemen. This is just history repeating itself, and it's not nearly as bad as the media makes it sound. Yes, gas prices are high. Yes, our prices are a little high, but is it fathom time? Are we going to be homeless? Are we going to be hungry? We're not nearly at that stage, ladies and gentlemen. And remember, they keep comparing the Biden administration to the Carter administration. And what you need to know, back in 1981, ladies and gentlemen, in the early 80s, interest rates were 18 to 22% for a mortgage. Some of you are old enough to remember, some of you are not. So we have the baby boomers, we have Generation X, Generation Y, the millennial generation, and now Generation Z. And you're going to be working with the different generations in your real estate arena. People of all ages, size, and shapes like to buy real estate and like to sell real estate. So you're going to be working with a global community, which means all different nationalities and ethnicities in the real estate. We're much more global today than we've ever been. So you're going to be working with a global community. When you're working with a global community, you're going to have to understand your business. I represent a large Islamic community. I represent a large Filipino community, and I certainly represent a large Israeli community. And each one of my communities, like the Islamic community, is completely different than the Israeli community, ladies and gentlemen. So you're going to have to learn behaviors, religious culture in your business of real estate because we are a global business and we're going to be representing many cultures. You're going to have to understand those cultures. And it's on the job training. I wish I could tell you exactly how it's all going to work. But even for me, when I started representing my Islamic community, I had to learn a lot of cultural differences than what I was brought up with, like Sharia or Sharia compliant financing. The Islamic community does not believe in usury. So they can't pay interest on a mortgage loan. So they need special financing called Sharia or Sharia, however you want to pronounce it, financing, because over the years, I've heard it called both Sharia, Sharia, and other names. But again, as I said, it's not wrong. It's just accent. And so it depends on the accent on how they're saying it. So Sharia or Sharia. And this basically means because of usury, my Islamic community cannot pay interest because of their religious belief. So since you're going to be working with different cultures, I'm working with a large African culture right now, and they're very family oriented. In my day, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm in my 50s, somewhere in that area. I've been lying about my age for so long that I don't even know how old I am sometimes. But it doesn't matter. It keeps me young. And so in my day, ladies and gentlemen, things were a lot different. We couldn't wait to leave the nest at the age of 18. We wanted to get out of the house and go on our own. That was in my day, ladies and gentlemen. Today, the millennial generation is not so quick to want to move out. They're comfortable staying at home for longer than usual. But in my African community, they don't leave the nest. They stay together for forever. So again, because you're going to be representing a global community, you have to understand different cultures and their way of life. And so the class goes into trying to do that and teaching you the real estate business. Now, because you have to take real estate practice and real estate fundamentals, let's talk about these two. What is real estate practice? What is real estate fundamentals? Oh, I see the comment. Okay, I'm sorry. I keep forgetting to finish my sentence. Is today better to buy real estate than it was before? Yes, the answer is yes. I apologize. Thank you for the comments. And so now what I'm saying here, ladies and gentlemen, is a couple months ago, for the last 2 years, we had a seller's market, which means the sellers were able to ask ridiculously high prices for their property and receive it. Why? Because we had so much demand. So many people were leaving New York, New Jersey, and moving to Pennsylvania, Tennessee, and Florida. All right, Tennessee is only 2 states away from Pennsylvania, so it's not around mid-central Pennsylvania, so central United States. It's not that far. So when we had people leaving New York and New Jersey over the last 2 years because of the pandemic and the pandemic restrictions, Pennsylvania was a recipient of this exodus out of these other states that were coming to Pennsylvania. So we had a lot of demand. We'll talk about supply and demand in our class. So we had a lot of demand. Many people were looking to buy property in Pennsylvania. Well, even though the inflation's going up, even though the economy is changing, even though we're in some turmoil situation in the economy, it's not changing the fact that we still have a lot of people who want to buy property. We still have a lot of demand. And now's the better time to be buying property than it was a couple months ago, because now people are sitting on the fence. People are saying, you know what, let me hold off and see what's happening later on down the line, just like the stock market. But you know as well as I do, in the stock market, we buy low, we sell high. So in a crash, somebody like me, this is a great thing because now I can buy a lot of stock low and get a great return on my investment. So a crash is a good thing for shrewd investors. So right now, you should be looking to buy real estate because so many people are sitting on the fence. So many people are waiting to hear what the doom and gloom of better days will be, that they're missing opportunities that you could be jumping on. Even if they raise interest rates a whole new point, so it goes from 5 points to 6 points, 6%, it's still nothing compared to the 80s when it was 18 to 22% for a mortgage, ladies and gentlemen. So understand it's nothing compared to our history, which we are repeating. So now is the time to buy because we don't have a lot of demand. You're not competing with so many buyers, causing the price to go up. This is what happens when a lot of people invest in property. They want to wait till great days are good when everybody's buying, and you're literally competing with everybody else, causing the price to go up. Now that people are sitting on the fence, now that people are concerned about the economy, now is perfect opportunity to be buying real estate. Watch what other people do and do the opposite. When everybody's sitting on the fence, you go out and buy, ladies and gentlemen. So this is a great opportunity. Thank you for the comments, and I'm sorry I didn't finish it. So there it is, my opinion, and many people are taking me up on my opinion, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, by the way, if you're looking to buy real estate, we have the Philly First $10,000 grant that's still available. Money doesn't last forever, ladies and gentlemen. So I've been very fortunate working with the lender that does the Philly First grant, and many of my buyers, first-time buyers, won't need any money to buy their first property. No money because of the $10,000 grant that they're going to be receiving. Why that money still lasts, ladies and gentlemen. So if you're looking to buy real estate, your credit might not be so strong. You don't have a lot of money in your checking or savings account, and you think you can't qualify for a property, call me. Call me. I'll bet you can. And this is the real estate business, ladies and gentlemen. Here was a demonstration, and it's a true demonstration. Really, if you want to buy a property, there's a $10,000 grant available called the Philly First Grant. You want to buy a property with no money down, no money out of your pocket, call me, Warren Nelson, 267-972-1084, and I'll show you how to buy a property with no money out of your pocket while the Philly First Grant still is in existence, because everybody's trying to get this money. So contact me, and let's see if we can get you into your new home with no money out of your pocket or very little out of your pocket. Now, think about this, ladies and gentlemen. When you buy an apartment, or when you rent an apartment, I should say, you need first month's rent, last month's rent, and a month's security. So if it's $1,000 a month, you need $3,000 out of your pocket just for a new apartment. How about a new house for less than that? How about $1,000 out of your pocket, $1,500 out of your pocket for a 3-bedroom home with a yard, maybe a garage, and so forth? Why rent? The only reason that you're renting is because you did not know that you qualified to buy. You thought your credit wasn't good. You thought you didn't have enough money in the bank account. You didn't understand. And this is you now, ladies and gentlemen. You getting into the real estate business will open up opportunities, not only for you, but for other people. See how I'm now saying, if you would like to buy a property, you don't have any money with the Philly First Grant, we can get you into your new property. This is me being in the real estate business, offering you opportunities in the real estate arena. And this will be you. When you get the real estate license, you can also go on to help people buy property, sell property. It's a very rewarding, not only monetary, but emotional as well. It's great to help somebody buy that property, see them and their children moving into their new home, whatever the situation may be. So the real estate arena is going to open up lots of opportunities for you. If it wasn't for the Philly First grant, these would be less opportunities that I would have to offer my buyers and sellers. So there are a lot of programs out there available to help buyers and sellers, ladies and gentlemen. It's just that you need that knowledge. You need to understand what's available, how we can incorporate it. And that's why the state requires that you take this 75-hour state mandated class in order to learn these things. So let's talk about practicing fundamentals. The fundamentals is the law, contract law, agency law, the American Disability Act, federal law, state law, local law, fair housing laws. And so there are a lot of laws that go into real estate because we're transferring the deed to the property. So it's a legal transfer from one person to another. A lot of legal aspects have to be handled in this procedure of transferring this property from the seller to the buyer. And so fundamentals deals with all the legal aspects that you will need to incorporate into your real estate business, what you can and cannot do legally. Zoning law, big one. Somebody wants to buy a property, a single family home, and turn it into a rooming house. Well, they would not be able to do that legally until they got their variance to change the zoning. So all these things, building permits, zoning permits, the procedure of buying property, selling property, auction properties, all these investments, owner financing, rent to buy, lease to purchase, first right of refusal, all these things will be taught in the class. And now you can add each and every one to your arsenal to make you a machine in the real estate business. Once you become a machine in the real estate business, then you can create your real estate money machine, where you're buying portfolios of properties. And you could have either a positive cash flow by being a landlord, or you could be even smarter by being the bank and doing the owner financing, which I'll teach you in the class. So real estate fundamental deals with the legal aspects, the things that you have to apply legally so that we can transfer the deed legally, the property can be used for legal purposes. Everything has to be done in a legal manner. So real estate fundamentals deals with the laws, many laws, federal, state, local laws, fair housing laws, contract law, agency law, zoning laws, the American Disability Act, and so forth, fair housing law. So there's many laws that you need to understand. You have to incorporate these in the transition of real estate. There's no ifs, ands, or buts around. The law is the law. So this class will teach you the law. What is the law? What is the law? All right. In the real estate arena, ladies and gentlemen, it's called RELA. RELA, Real Estate Licensing Association. And so that is the law, and the Real Estate Commission is our private law enforcement department. And so we'll talk about the Real Estate Commission and the Real Estate law, the Real Estate Agency, RELA. And so you need to know law. So fundamentals deals with the legal aspects of real estate. Practice deals with your business, running your real estate business. And you will be an independent contractor, ladies and gentlemen. As an independent contractor, you're going to be paying your own taxes. You're going to be doing your own thing. You won't have a boss in the real estate arena. You will have what's called a broker. The broker's responsibility is oversight. So the broker is there to make sure that you're doing everything legally and compliantly, as a coach, a mentor, to oversee your new real estate business. And so as a real estate agent, you will be running your own company. You'll be running your own business. And so I'll be teaching you how to interview brokers, and so that you understand that you're not interviewing for a job. When you interview brokers, once you get your real estate license, you're interviewing for a business relationship agreement, a partnership with that broker. So it's not a job that you're applying for. You already have your own company. You have that real estate license. Once you have that real estate license, you may now operate as an entity under the laws of the Real Estate Licensing and Registration Act to represent others and charge compensation. Without the real estate license, you cannot represent, you cannot receive compensation in real estate matters. Just like property management. You want to manage property for somebody, the minute you take that lease and the minute you take that security deposit, you better have a license. So you're going to find out that you need a real estate license, and practicing real estate without a license is a criminal offense. Practicing law without a license, practicing medical without a license are criminal offense. And the same thing with real estate. Practicing real estate without a license is a criminal offense. And so the real estate fundamentals deals with the law and everything that you need to know to make the transfer of the property legal. But real estate practice is you running a business. And the practice is talking about how you run a business. How do you get your clients? Where are your customers and clients coming from? How do you wake up? How do you market? How do you prospect? How do you run a real estate business? And so my class is very notorious for going into the details of running a real estate business. Not only am I going to teach you how to represent others to help them, I will teach you how to run a real estate business. And running a business is not everybody's bag. Why? Because it deals with management. And a lot of people lack management skills. It is not a trait that everybody has. And so a lot of people would like to delegate management to others. You do this, you do that. That's part of management. Delegation is fine as long as you're delegating to the right parties and they are doing the job properly. But in the real estate business, you're going to be working with many buyers, many sellers. Let me give you an example. You have 5 buyers that you are working with right now. How many properties a day do you show each buyer in order to get all 5 buyers into your schedule for today? All 5 buyers want to look at properties. How many properties a day do you show a buyer? What's the right way? What's the first property that we show a potential buyer? What do we do first? How do we have a ready, willing, and able buyer? So the real estate practice deals with your business of running a real estate business. Passing an exam is one thing, but running a real estate business is completely another thing. So you're here in my class to pass an exam. But what most schools won't do is prep you to run the business after you pass the exam. And that's where we excel at, because we have a brokerage designed for brand new agents so that they know exactly step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5, right on down the line of what they have to do in order to run that real estate business they now have, now that they have a real estate license. So that's what we do at Online Real Estate School, ladies and gentlemen. We really prep you to learn how to run a real estate business, besides learning how to pass the exam. And so that's where we excel. Now, our classes are Zoom platform. What you see now is going to be the same thing that you will have in the class, except all the students will be in the pictures as well. So there'll be a bunch of blocks. Of course, you saw that with Zoom. So you will be in the class. You can talk to me. Excuse me, Mr. Nelson, I have a question. Excuse me, Mr. Nelson, I have a question. All right, not a problem. And that is the purpose of a virtual class, because you can communicate with me. It's just like being on the telephone, but now you can see me as well as talk to me. So the live streaming class works great. It works out beautiful. Read my reviews, ladies and gentlemen. You'll see that my students absolutely love this platform. It works out well. I'm able to answer all the students' questions. I'm able to put legal language into plain language, so it makes it easy to understand. Here's a problem that a lot of students have when they take an online course. The online course is, remember I was saying earlier, it comes down to management, and not everybody's good at management. It's not easy to take an online course and motivate yourself, first of all, to take the course. And second, if you don't understand what you're reading or what was just explained to you, how do you proceed? Now you're at a loss. And so you feel that you didn't get all the education that you could have gotten out of the online course had you understood the course a little bit better when you took it. So this is why a lot of online courses don't have such a great pass fail ratio, because one, it takes a lot of discipline to manage yourself. And two, it takes a lot of discipline to understand a new language. And if you don't understand the real estate language, then the online course is a little bit difficult. Here's the other thing that you don't want on your resume. You don't want to say that you took a real estate class that was a 3-week class. No broker really likes the exemplified 3-week class student. That means great. We know one thing, you test well, but how much did you really learn in 3 weeks, ladies and gentlemen? Did you learn enough? My class is 8 weeks. It's 8 weeks because it has to be. There's no way that I can give you the business of real estate in a 3-week class. All I'm trying to do with 3-week class is keep the money coming in with the enrollments and wash out 3-week class. So a lot of brokers do not like when they interview you and they ask you, where did you take your classes? Where did you go to school? And they find out you went to a 3-week class or an online class. They know that they're going to be dealing with a lot of management with this new agent, because the agent can only learn so much in a 3-week class, and they can only learn so much by themselves on an online course. So the only thing that we can determine as the broker, if you've gotten this far, is that you test well if you've taken these mediums to get your real estate license. Now, again, some do understand and are able to absorb an online course. But for the majority, the new language of real estate makes it difficult for those who take an online course. This is why the live streaming class works great. And the reason that I like the live streaming class, just like I'm doing right now, this is a live streaming class. This is not pre-recorded. Life's live streaming, real estate's live streaming, and I have a lot of respect for live streaming. I don't mind making mistakes. It's okay to make mistakes. Only God is perfect. But when you pre-record a show, or when you do a video and you slice and dice it and make it look good, well, anybody could do that. But try doing a live stream. So I love the live stream platform. I love it in the classroom arena, and I love it for this arena as well as introducing real estate to other folks. So I do a live streaming class every Monday, and our classes are live streaming. In this atmosphere, it makes life so much more manageable and enjoyable to come to the class, associate with your co-students, your fellow students, and get a very interactive experience. If you don't understand something, it makes it easy to say, excuse me, can you give me further explanation? I don't quite understand this. And I happily go into it. So a virtual class, the other thing about a virtual class is, and it was, real estate should have always been a virtual class as far as I'm concerned. If I'm located in Philadelphia and I'm doing a statewide class, Pennsylvania real estate exam, not a Philadelphia exam, not a Pittsburgh exam, not a Harrisburg exam, but a Pennsylvania exam. How is the student in Pittsburgh supposed to come to my class in Philadelphia? So having the live streaming platform opens up this classroom to a much larger audience for those who would love to come to my class, but would not have been able to come to my class if it was in person. And the way the prices of gas are right now, ladies and gentlemen, I don't think you really want to be driving back and forth to an in-person, in-campus class, because on campus or online, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. What does it matter if the person that you're looking at is physically in front of you or in front of you in a monitor? What does it matter, as long as you can communicate with that individual? So the online class, I believe, is much better than on-campus classes, because you don't have to spend the money for the gas. You don't have to worry about parking. You don't have to worry about beating the traffic. You don't have to worry about the accident risk of traveling back and forth. You don't have to worry about rain, snow, sleet, hail, or any of that. So the online class works out so much better. It's getting larger and larger as we go along, because we were designed
for live stream. Online Real Estate School, the name says it all. Online Real Estate School, Inc. We were designed for live streaming. We were created purposely for this reason. We created this live streaming class before we were even legally allowed to do live streaming. Before the pandemic, this class was not allowed legally by a live streaming platform. You had to be in person to do the class. But because of the pandemic and because of the Real Estate Commission's efforts to work with the governor, we received a governor's waiver during the pandemic in the real estate arena that we became essential. So real estate agents were essential during the pandemic, and the schools became essential through a live streaming platform. Many schools were forced to incorporate the live stream into their arena during the pandemic. They never wanted to go live stream. They don't like live streaming. And if the instructor doesn't like live streaming, then the class is doomed to be unsuccessful. And so when you hear this doom and gloom that the live streaming platforms are not a good platform, it's only because the instructor is not a good instructor. Plain and simple. The platform has nothing to do with the ability to outreach to you. But to teach you, to educate you, it's not for everybody. Not everybody has this gift, this art. I found out through the grace of God that I had the gift. I refused this position many, many times over my 30 years. There ain't no money in teaching. There ain't no money in instructing. Why do I want to bother? So for a very long time, I refused to be an instructor. I didn't want to teach. I was in the real estate business. I wasn't an educator. And then one day, out of a pinch, I had to help a friend out, and I had to run a class. And it's right after that I got the bug. I wanted to teach. I enjoyed teaching, and it turns out I happen to be very good at it by the grace of God. So I got a gift, I got the voice, I got the personality, and I got the patience. And so it works out very well for me to teach you real estate. So this class is a live streaming platform. I will be your instructor. You will be learning real estate practice and fundamentals. Now, with the next 15 minutes, let me give you some knowledge about real estate, some of the things that you're going to be learning in the class. For instance, what is the difference between a deed and title? We hear title all the time in the real estate business, but we do not sell property by title. We sell property by deed. So what is the difference between a deed and a title? That's a very important difference. What is the difference between earnest money and deposit? All right. So we're going to see a lot of things in the real estate arena that you're going to need to know. So the difference between a deed and title, the deed is the written instrument. And what we need is good and marketable deed for the property. Title is the process of making sure the deed is good. Starts with a title search, an abstracted title, title report, title insurance, title commitment. Then we got good deed. So title is the process of making sure the deed is good. But we don't sell property by title. We sell vehicles by title. So you need to learn the vocabulary. You need to learn the difference between what a deed and a title is. Just like what's the difference between a deed and a mortgage? A mortgage is a loan. The deed is you owning the property. Now, let me ask you this question. In Pennsylvania, when you buy a property and you get a 30-year mortgage to buy that property, do you own that property day one? Or do you own that property 30 years later when you make the final payment? The answer here in Pennsylvania is day one. Don't get the deed and the mortgage confused. They're two separate instruments. The mortgage is a loan, and the property is used as collateral, as security for the loan. But the bank's name's not on the deed. The bank doesn't own the property. That's here in Pennsylvania because we are known as a lien theory state. But some states are known as title theory states, like Texas, Georgia, so forth. Those states, you won't own the property or you won't receive the deed until 30 years later when you make your final payment. So one of the things you're going to learn is the difference between a lien theory state like Pennsylvania. When you buy a property, the bank only has a lien against the property. But in other states, you won't get the deed until 30 years later when you make the final payment. Those are called title theory states. So you need to know the difference between a lien theory state and a title theory state. Once I teach you the difference between a lien theory state and a title theory state, it will make you an excellent real estate investor. It will give you a different opportunity to invest in property, knowing the difference between a lien theory state and a title theory state and the techniques. So one uses a mortgage, one uses a deed of trust. And so knowing how to do investment through a deed of trust rather than a mortgage opens up a lot of opportunity for you in the investment arena, providing you know the different techniques that are available in all 50 states. All right. So the difference between a deed and title, the difference between a deed and a mortgage. You now know in Pennsylvania, when you buy a property, you get the deed day one. Now, there are many other things that you're going to learn in my class. As a matter of fact, after the very first day of my class, you will know more about real estate than you ever thought you would know. First day, day one of my class. I broke up the class 2 monthly. This class is June 14th, starts tomorrow. Our next class is July 19th. That'll be the second portion, either the first portion for my new enrollments or the second class for my current enrollments. That's how our classes work. So it is 4 weeks of practice, 4 weeks of fundamental. I offer a morning class and an evening class. They are separate. They're not the same class. So you can either join the morning class or the evening class, but you can't do them both because one's practice, one's fundamental. Now, I do say this to my students for a caveat. If your schedule only allows you to do one class, let's say you can only do the evening class because of your work schedule, then this will be an 8-week class. 4 weeks for practice, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. 4 weeks for real estate fundamental, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So it'll be an 8-week class. But if your schedule allows you to do the morning class and the evening class, then this would be a 4-week class. You can knock this out in 4 weeks. But it's not an exemplary class like the 3-week class that I was talking about. This will be an overdrive class of practice, 4 hours of practice, and then 4 hours of fundamental, so that you're getting the proper information and the proper training. Some students, everybody wants to get to the finish line. Everybody wants to finish. Everybody wants to be done. Everybody wants to get paid without working. And so everybody has this expedited, I want it done today. I want to be there tomorrow. So a lot of students will take this 3-week class or this online course thinking that this would be the least resistance, the fastest way to get to where you're going. You'll find out that it's actually backwards. You're actually wasting the 3 weeks. You're actually wasting the online because maybe you will pass an exam, but you will not know how to run a real estate business after you pass the exam. So taking the exemplary class might not be the best route. If you're looking for the quickest route to say, I achieved something, I got my real estate license. If you're that type of individual where you're an overachiever for accolades, you like to have all these accomplishments. I got all these awards, all these trophies, everything, but I don't really do anything except collect different certifications, then that's fine. Then you can brag that you received your real estate license in 3 weeks. However, I doubt very much that you're going to be a qualified real estate agent in a 3-week period. It just does, it can't happen. There's 75 hours of training. So they're going to squeeze 75 hours of training into a 3-week class, and it's just barely enough to give you what you need to try to pass an exam. But it's no fault of the school, ladies and gentlemen. This is why you're taking this class right now, to do your research, because most schools are designed to do just that, to teach you how to pass an exam. That's what they were designed for. This is what makes my school different. My school was designed to teach you how to run a real estate business, how to master the complexity of the real estate arena so that you can go on and make a lot of money in the real estate arena and change your lifestyle. I told you in the very beginning of this hour, ladies and gentlemen, that real estate is going to have a profound effect. It will change your life. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. The question is, are you ready to make the move? Stop putting it off. Stop waiting for the right moment. Here's the thing that kills me, ladies and gentlemen. I can watch an individual drop $300 in a slot machine and not even give it a second thought. Even if they lose the $300, they're like, well, better luck next time. Didn't have it to lose. I shouldn't have played. but yet I can't get you to invest $300 in yourself to get a real estate license. You see how the psychology works there? You can drop $300 in a slot machine, no problem. Probably do it 3 or 4 times a month. But to do $300 for yourself, to make an investment in yourself, we put this off. We overanalyze, analysis paralysis. Is this the right time? Is that the right time? It's $300, ladies and gentlemen. And I told you, I broke up the classes, 2 classes, $299 for the one class, $299 for the other. So if you pay for the first class and it's not what you thought, if it's not what you were expecting, then you don't have to pay the $399 for the other class. No other school is going to do this. So I'm trying to make it as easy for you to figure out the reason why you want to make the decision. I'm trying to help you, but it's a lot of work to get people to invest in themselves, ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to education. I wish I was a slot machine. It would be easier to get $300 from you on a slot machine and give you nothing in return except watch the wheel spin and dream. But these dreams that you have in the real estate business, ladies and gentlemen, is not by chance like a slot machine. It is you investing in yourself, putting together all the mechanics that you need to be successful. So I encourage you, our next class starts tomorrow. We actually have an orientation class right after this class. So at 7 o'clock, my orientation class will be for my students that will be joining our class starting tomorrow. So June 14th is our next class. July 19th is the class thereafter. I would love to encourage you, ladies and gentlemen, to invest in yourself and get this real estate license. I put together this class to give you, the student, a little bit more research to help you make a decision on which school you would like to attend. What school do you think is going to give you the best bang for your buck? Which one do you think is going to give you the better return on your investment? So this is why I do this class every Monday. And beat the clock, ladies and gentlemen. I literally mean 5 minutes before this show started, I was still doing a lot of things, real estate, boom, boom, boom. I literally have to turn on the class, start it, get it done, and then get back to what I have to do. That is the real estate arena. If they gave out awards for beating the clock, I would be a nominee. I'm sure I'm not the only one that beats the clock, but in the real estate arena, ladies and gentlemen, you will have to manage this clock every day because you're going to be wildly successful and very busy in the real estate arena, even with the doom and gloom out there, ladies and gentlemen, in the media. That's for investment purposes. That is a whole different element. We'll talk about the media and how that all works in the classroom and why you hear the things you hear and why history always repeats itself. We are absolutely repeating history, ladies and gentlemen. And if you were fortunate to live in the 80s like I was and understood, because I started in real estate in the 80s. I got started in 1988, right out of graduating from high school. That's when I got started in the real estate. I went from high school right into the real estate arena. And so in the 80s, ladies and gentlemen, under the Carter administration and following administration, the Reagan administration, there was a lot of transition that took place in the 80s. What happened then is happening again. So if you're a history buff like myself, then you understand history is repeating itself. And if you understand the history is repeating itself, then you understand there's going to be lots of opportunities that are going to be available for you if you understand history and you understand the market. Great time to be investing in yourself in real estate. Great time to be investing in real estate, ladies and gentlemen. When it's doom and gloom, this is the time for us, the investors, to be out there helping others and helping ourselves to buy property. So we have a lot to learn in a 75-hour class. There's no way that I can give it to you in an hour. What I do is try to give you some principles like the real estate fundamentals, the practice, the difference between a deed, the mortgage, and title. And there's lots of other things that you need to understand to learn. And again, remember, once you take my class, you never have to pay for it again. You can come back to the class over and over and over again, so you can work at your own pace in an environment that is friendly, conducive, and productive for your future. So this is onlinerealestateschoolinc.com, onlinerealestateschoolinc.com. Ladies and gentlemen, before we go, I want you to hear from some of my students and what they had to say about the class. To see if this would help you in your research.
This school was the only school with 5-star reviews. I did a lot of research.
The information that you give us is just like amazing. I had a family member that attended your school and they just spoke wonders about you. I think like most of everybody in the class, it was the reviews for me.
After reading your reviews and just trusting my friend, he said, you're 100% the way to go. And I do not regret it at all whatsoever.
Your school is amazing.
I came to you, it was within my expectations.
And the broker knows like, okay, this person, wherever they're going to school, like they know what they're doing. Once I talked to you and spoke to you, I was just like, okay, I think this is the right school.
Personally, I have a very good friend that's actually in the real estate business already a broker. He actually recommended you to be a teacher.
Like served as a mentor, just as many others have said. So it's been a pleasure. It really has. After your classes, I become like more knowledge and it's great. It's great job because you care about all your students.
He's more than a teacher. He's a mentor. He's someone you look up to.
And you're a great teacher, to be honest with you. You slow down when people have a question. You review things as many times as we need you to.
But you take this time, you actually read to us to get to know and understand this. And I am so ready. Very glad that I chose your school. It's a nice school, so it's great for me because you don't have to travel anywhere. I just choose you and it was it was a great time. I thank you and I will take this class over and over and over and over and over.
One of the best teachers ever.
This would be really good for me. And then I think what really put me in was once I talked to you on the phone.
I did see the 5-star review. I did look around a little bit.
I mentioned you, your school is like really a lot of people knows about your school.
And I was a little bit skeptical because 5-star reviews, no business, no nothing has 5-star reviews. But it worked out amazing and I'm happy I chose this school.
But the information that you give, that you give more than a lot of teachers out there get. Oh, absolutely. I think the school actually really went beyond my expectations.
I cannot thank you enough for the experience and just preparation to run my own business.
It's like more information that you give us, the more knowledge I just lock that into my brain and I know I'm just going to get out there and achieve a lot of things. Working with you has been a pleasure. It really has. You like served as a mentor.
And I would definitely recommend to anyone who is looking into any kind of real estate.
Ladies and gentlemen, some of my students and their testimonial, there is my number, 267-972-1084. I told you if you're looking to buy a property with the $10,000 grant money available, you won't need any money. Call me, 267-972-1084. If you're looking to get yourself a real estate license, call me, and there's my website, onlinerealestateschool.inc.com, onlinerealestateschool.inc.com, ladies and gentlemen. So I hope to have you as a review and a testimonial for my future classes. I hope to see you in my class. I'm looking forward to making you a licensed real estate professional, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in my class. Please keep the comments, questions coming. Please hit the like, the subscribe, the bells. I keep forgetting I have to mention that. So please like the likes. I see many, many comments. I'm going to answer all these comments that I have, ladies and gentlemen, as soon as the class is over. I have an orientation class in 2 minutes. So my students will be signing up for the orientation. That'll be over in about an hour. Once I'm done my orientation class for the March class, I'll start answering some of your comments and questions and get back to you. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure. Every Monday, 6 p.m., I run this free live streaming class. Tell your friends about it. Tell them to tune in, give them the links. If they're thinking about joining real estate or becoming a real estate investor or a real estate representative, then this is a great link to give them more insight. So this is it, ladies and gentlemen. Until next Monday, be safe, be healthy, be happy. God willing, I'll see you in my class, or at the very least, I'll see you in my free class on Mondays. Be safe, be healthy, be happy.